kulinji.com. Welcome, Chisomo.
Thank you very much.
Then I have Aubrey. Aubrey is the editor of The Nation. This is the daily paper at The Nation Publication Limited stable. Aubrey, welcome.
Thank you.
Let's go straight into it. First segment. President Lazarus Chakwera last week paid a 2-day solidarity visit to South Africa, and the trip was meant to strengthen trade and immigration matters because this is a country, this is the biggest trading partner for Malawi. However, everything imploded because of one person by the name of Prophet Shepherd Bushiri, after he jumped bail in that country where he was arrested for fraud and money laundering, and he came home. Malawi is his home country, so he came home. Chisomo, the president was delayed for 7 hours. Extraordinary searches for people that traveled with him. And then all of a sudden, Bushiri comes into a picture. The trip is in a mess, and there's controversy. Where did things go wrong?
I think from what we're hearing, this was a properly planned trip.
Yes.
The South Africans are even admitting that Malawi's president put in a request a while back to pay a visit to that country. And the dates that were set, the dates that our president visited South Africa were actually set by the South Africans themselves.
Okay.
So therefore, it tells us that there was no planning in terms, as far as Malawi is concerned, to coincide with the developments that happened to do with Bushiri. It is quite unfortunate that our president had to wait for such a long time. It later transpired that beyond the fact that there were glitches in terms of the guests that the president brought with him, the people, his entourage, that they had wanted part of them to board the plane. They had wanted everyone to board the plane with the president on their way back home.
Yes.
That was the reason that was given. But beyond that, it shows you that it was beyond just this issue. Because if it was just about fixing the matter of getting
who gets on the presidential plane,
and who boards it where, then it could not have taken 7 hours.
Exactly.
So we are told that Malawians, the people were searched even using sniffer dogs, which really was very, very undiplomatic.
The issue, Aubrey, that Chisomo is talking about, the search, sniffer dogs and what have you, is about one Shepherd Bushiri, a prophet from Malawi who in 2011 went to South Africa to settle and establish his church there, the Enlightened Christian Gathering. They thought he is going to escape on the presidential plane. That's disrespectful, isn't it? To imagine that the president can try to smuggle out a fugitive.
Yeah, I think that was out of order on the part of the South Africans. And in fact, was it on Tuesday?
Yes.
The Home Affairs Minister admitted to a special parliamentary committee that this is that the delays, in fact, they thought that Bushiri would be on that plane by the carrying the Malawi president, which I found to be very unfortunate and undiplomatic a remark to come from a cabinet minister. That was
lack of respect.
That was lack of respect.
Yes,
he was so clear. He said, apart from the statement from the South Africa government, which had indicated that the issue was to do with security checks or security concerns, but this Home Affairs Minister, in fact, put it to the point just on Tuesday that, in fact, they thought that he would take advantage of the Malawi delegation and board the plane. That's why they subjected them to that 7-hour wait, because they were supposed to leave on Friday at was it 3:30 p.m.
Yes,
but
exactly.
They ended up leaving around 10:30
10, yes,
p.m.
exactly, and they arrived home to 1 or something like that.
Yes.
Something like that. Probably, although Aubrey is talking about the letter the South government saying he didn't escape on that plane, but too late, isn't it? The damage had already been done. The fact that they were thinking that the whole president of a sovereign nation like Malawi can do that, can sink so low and smuggle someone out, nothing can really placate it, isn't it?
No, it can't. And actually, we probably could have expected an apology of some sort.
Exactly.
To say, because they are admitting that it was not just about
the waterproof, whatever,
the Tambo debacle.
Yes.
It was beyond that.
Yes.
They are admitting. And by subjecting a whole head of state to such kind of humiliation, I think the nation of Malawi deserved more than just the letter that they sent. Probably an apology could have done under these circumstances.
Should the foreign minister, his foreign affairs ministry, rather did more than just a formal press release that they did? They did a press release in which they were explaining all these issues. Yes, they did the press release.
They did the press release.
But they fell short of calling the South African ambassador to explain. We have him here, the High Commission.
Yes, but my take is that I think the press release was meant just for the public.
Yes.
But there are other communications behind the scenes through the diplomatic channels.
Exactly.
Which are going on, because even in the South African press release on Sunday, which cleared Chakwera, I think he also hinted that they would be formally writing through the diplomatic circle. So I would give them the benefit of the doubt that behind the scenes, the two foreign affairs agencies are communicating, they are talking behind the scenes.
All right. Let's now go to Bushiri himself. I think the elephant in the room is Bushiri himself. First things first. He is saying, in South Africa, my life was in danger. I would have been killed, assassinated. In South Africa, I wouldn't have got justice, because the very same people that were investigating me are the very same people that were asking for a bribe from me. Do we think that washes? Is it justified to run away from justice?
I'm not sure whether we can judge him to say he is justified, but there are reports indeed. The South African police have admitted that he has indeed lodged complaints with them, because he has been insisting all along that I've lodged complaints about these matters.
And he has never been attacked, by the way.
Yes, and he has been attacked before,
Yeah.
and he has lodged complaints to the South African police, but they were doing nothing about it until when things turned around and they were pressing charges against him. So I think he was the best person to judge his security. I think life is much more paramount than everything else.
Exactly.
So when you feel like your life is in danger and he's got a family, wife and children, I think you have to make the right decision to
do what is best for yourself.
Yes, to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with Chisomo that two wrongs don't make a right. But as things stand, Bushiri, his wife, and the other suspects, they are what they are, suspects.
Of course.
And they are presumed innocent
until proven guilty. That's right.
But where indeed one feels that they are not safe, I think there are other options which you can seek. So I think I can leave it at that.
I see. It's not an easy one.
It's not easy.
You are watching the Cauldron, and this is Times TV. My name is George Kasabula. I'm joined by Aubrey as well as Chisomo. We are trying to look at the debacle. South Africa, Prophet Shepherd Bushiri boats there, comes home, and then he does it at the time that the president is also probably visiting, and everything now is controversial. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll now go to see the reaction in South Africa, how that country is up in arms at the fact that the prophet is here. Don't go away. Welcome back. My name is George Kasagula, and you're watching the Cauldron. This is where editors meet. We try to get the perspectives of editors, because the belief, as I said earlier on, is that these are people that drive the news agenda in the newsroom. So they have got one thing or two to talk about as far as the news is concerned. Welcome back once again. Everyone in South Africa, Aubrey, is up in arms, starting from President Cyril Ramaphosa. It was reported that he was very, very angry. That's the headline that we saw. And ministers as well, including finance, Tito Mboweni, than the Home Affairs one, the one that was testifying before a committee of Parliament. Him too clearly was not amused. And then the media, the common man, they are all up in arms. Why does Bushiri caught so much controversy and hatred in South Africa? He's just a pastor who established his church there. Where did things go wrong? Where did things go wrong?
Okay, I would say that I think the case, his case, while it is in court, and then the conduct where he has escaped from South Africa, I think, and the circumstances, because the bail conditions given to him and the other suspects were restricted their travel, and to, I think, the area he was living, is it Gauteng and the other areas?
Yes,
but and as well as within South Africa.
Yeah.
But here he was declaring that he was back home in Malawi. And the system, and I think the South Africans, they are bitter because his escapades have exposed the loopholes or weaknesses in their system, which they maybe felt it was sophisticated and the like, but he has beaten them, and it's a big embarrassment to a country like South Africa. Have someone just bought like that, passing through the borders, and
Bushiri himself is not making things easy. He's not saying how he got here.
Exactly, because
even us, we don't know how we got here.
Yeah, but as the minister, our minister of information, Gospel, told one of the channels in South Africa, and it's the boys in the South African court to see how he might have escaped, because being a country that is said to be rated to be among the sophisticated ones, obviously of course they have the uncharted routes, but they should have some cameras, and like 24-hour surveillance and the like for people like him who are on the wanted list.
Yes.
But they didn't do that. So I can imagine the anger. I can understand the anger. It's coming mostly from the embarrassment which Bushiri has caused.
But even before that, is someone that they want to portray as a criminal. That they're after him for the past 3 years or 4 years. They have been trying to prosecute him. They have failed. They have asked for adjournments and what have you. Such things. What do they say about his stay in South Africa?
It shows that, okay, he had his ministry in South Africa. He had followers, some of them South Africans, some Malawians, and the others from the other countries in the Southern Africa. But Bushiri has always been a controversial character, I can say. And we also how, I think was it in Botswana? He was
his church was
banned, I think.
Somehow.
Botswana.
Yeah.
And even locally here before he left, he had his own fair share of controversy.
Exactly.
So he has always been a controversial person. And when you are controversial, some will like you, some will not like you. So I think he had more enemies in his South Africa.
Why? Is it because probably his church was growing so fast, filling up FNB Stadium? Probably other traditional churches in South Africa were jealous of that. Why do they hate him like that? Apart from the crimes that he's being accused of.
I think he has defied a lot of odds, like we are saying. Just a boy from Malawi. He sprang up from somewhere up in the north, and he came briefly to town here in Blantyre and Lilongwe. And before we knew it, he was making waves in South Africa.
Yes.
So I think they have always had problems, understanding what is it that this young man is doing, pulling all this, able to fill FNB Stadium. I don't think any other
they haven't.
Any other man of God has done that.
So in fact, they rate that the rating is that, I think apart from World Cup, the opening or closing ceremony of World Cup,
that's right.
And I think some artists from America, and him, they are the
ones that managed to fill up. Whoever filled up FNB. Even when they are playing football, Orlando Pirates, and they don't fill it up.
They don't.
And also some of the flamboyance and the showmanship. He was showing off all this wealth. So when that
flying
happens,
private planes, owning private planes.
When that happens, you begin to attract questions.
Buying buying cars for his
yeah,
kid's
for
birthday,
the kid.
kid's birthday.
Yes. So you begin to attract questions
Attention.
and attention.
Yeah.
You know, some of the lifestyle that social media has afforded people to be able to live. Sometimes people also begin now to look into you and say, how is this happening? Yeah.
Now things have come to head. He's here. He's boarded. He's here. The South Africans are actually firing from more cylinders. Cancelling bail for him and his wife, processing extradition, and of course, they also alerted Interpol. And in response to that, the Malawi police wanted to arrest him, then he handed over himself. By the time we are recording this program, that's what is happening. But it's a fast-moving story. At the end of the day, do we think all this will wash? He's saying he's come here because he wants to be protected by the Malawi Constitution. Essentially saying all my rights must be respected. So at the end of the day, this is a judiciary matter. It's not even the issue of the president, as we will discuss later on. How will this end? These days people are saying it will end in tears. Will it end in tears for him that he's going back to South Africa to face justice from the people that he's saying can't give him justice?
Yeah, it is. I think there are two ways, because apart from the judiciary, I think the executive arm will also have to be involved, because the other communication obviously will come through the executive and the foreign affairs ministry. But then at the same time, like we saw when he appeared before the police, I think the police were recording a statement from him, and from that point, what I expected was that maybe he will be formally arrested and maybe given bail. It could be a police bail or court bail, and thereafter maybe they can now start the other processes. But from what some lawyers have indicated, extradition is not as easy as it sounds. We also it. For example, we had the case of Saulos Chilima.
Yes, it took
almost 6 years
before
over 6 years,
and it was in South Africa.
Yeah, he was in South Africa, and it took almost 6 years.
Yes, for processes to be completed.
Because he's now home. He will be seeking justice through also the local courts, and also the other challenge is that Malawi, yes, is a signatory to the Zodiak protocol on extradition and the like. But one lawyer put it that it has to be checked if that was also domesticated in our laws.
Yes.
But we have an extradition act as well, which also specifies.
And our laws will take precedent.
Yes.
Yes, those treated certainly.
Yes.
But when lawyers talk about the layers of laws, they start with the constitution as the highest thing, and they go to court, whatever.
Act.
So yes.
And then even the extradition act specifies which offenses one can be extradited. Also, I think all that assessment. I think it was Wapona Kit. I think I heard
he was featured on one of the networks in South Africa.
Channels.
Exactly.
He said the whole process may take at the minimum to start everything. It can take up to 6 months. At the minimum.
Yes.
So you can see that for now, his move, regardless of whether it was bad or wrong, but his move was also enabled him to get some freedom
to do some breathing space for himself. Breathing space for Bushiri.
It is indeed, and like he has said, I think he has also, by the fact that he was able to report some of the things that he went through, for instance, that the police were seeking bribes, issues of his security, those things will make a case for him, will make it difficult for the South Africans to extradite him. So it will indeed buy him a lot of time, that it might not be in a short while, especially exacerbated by the fact that all the persecution, so to say, that he went through. Even these cases that he was answering to, they kept being postponed and being postponed.
You see,
exactly. That was delaying justice.
In fact, the Minister of Home Affairs in South Africa when he appeared before that committee, the parliamentary committee, he indicated that his case, which Bushiri was complaining that it was taking forever, he indicated that I think they were planning to go back to court in May 2021.
Yes,
yes. So you can actually see that.
Yeah. President Lazarus Chakwera, Obu, has made it very, very clear. There was a press briefing on Monday. Yes, where the State House, Communication Department, headed by Shoni Kamponi as well as Brian Banda, made it very, very clear that the president is not going to interfere in this matter. In fact, they were not even mentioning him by name. Strategic move.
Yeah, I think the president was right, because this is a legal issue.
Yes.
And I think in the spirit of separation of powers and the like, I think the president took a good step in a step in the right direction on that, because you already said that the judicial arm of the government will be a key player in dealing with this issue.
Yes.
So I think the president did not want to jump the gun and being seen to be usurping the powers of the other arms. So I think we wait and see the legal process take place.
Your comment on the president saying I'm above board. This is none of my business.
It is. I don't know. I don't expect the president to be responding on each and every issue. There are 18 million Malawians. If any Malawian does something elsewhere, the president should speak. No.
He has better things to do.
There are a lot of problems that he's trying to sort out. Yes, he's got a country to run, and this is just one individual. That's why it's raising questions of all this fuss. This is just one individual, one Malawian, and there are 18 million others of us that the president has to look into. So there are these other arms of government that have been tasked with looking at some of these issues, whether a person is right before the law or not. Let the judiciary handle that matter, but don't encumber him with the issues of one individual, one George Kasagula. The president should.
No, it's not me.
No, I'm just giving an example.
I know.
You see?
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing that we have seen. We've already said that the South Africans are very bitter about it. They seem to try to blame Malawi. The question that the Minister of Information was asked to say, is there, what not, it's as if trying to blame Malawi. But in this case, as a country, you talked about Obre at the beginning, that they should have themselves to blame.
Yes.
There's no way Malawi would have said, no, you don't come. Probably there's even an obligation that we have to receive. He's a citizen, isn't he?
He is a citizen
Yes.
of Malawi. He was free to come.
Yes.
And the circumstances which he came, because Malawi was on the receiving end.
Yes.
He left South Africa. How he left, we don't know. It's only him who can explain.
Yes.
But there's no way.
And how he entered, it's also him who can explain.
Yes.
Do you think he owes the country an explanation on how he entered? Did he enter through Mwanza? Did he enter through, where else could he have entered? Wherever.
We also have porous borders. I think the issue of porous borders is beyond Malawi, beyond South Africa. It's a global problem. Even the United States, they have millions, they're saying 3% of the people in there are illegal immigrants. People enter countries illegally all the time. Bushiri is no exception. Probably explored some of those means that our brothers and sisters who travel to South Africa with no papers, they're able to go in and they're able to come back to this country. So there are those issues that I think on the larger scale countries really have to work on. As to whether he has to explain, it's up to him.
So there's no issue for law enforcement in Malawi at the fact that Bushiri he's traveled. He didn't even have his travel documents.
No, he did not. But
they were confiscated. So there's no issue.
No.
That the honorable Chimwendo Banda got follow up on the police to say how did he enter.
They will also follow up and look at their documents to see whether indeed how he entered this country. But like we were saying, we also have our own issues with porous borders, which the South Africans are talking about. People go in and out of this country. Our fellow brothers and sisters, they travel without papers.
Whenever it's done with Obre, he's a citizen. So there was no way Malawi would have said would have barred him. Whether he had the documents, he didn't have documents, this is his country.
Yeah.
Yes. I see. And last word on this matter, of course we will revisit it in the newsroom. but the substantive issues before we take another break. Aubrey.
Yeah, I think now that the processes locally also have started with his appearance at the Malawi Police National Headquarters, I think. Let's wait and see how the developments unfold.
Chisomo?
It's a wake-up call for everyone.
Including who? Why?
Including government.
Why should it be wake up
on the issue of security, on the issue of the borders, because ordinary people have been doing it, but I think it has gained a lot more prominence because it is Bushiri who has done it. So it's time these people ask for resources all the time, give us resources to secure our borders, because even for us as Malawians, people use Malawi as a conduit. You know, we have seen Ethiopians being arrested, traveling, some of them without papers, all the way to South Africa. So these issues have to be looked into, because there's also the element of security attached to all this.
Do you think South Africa can try to overplay its hand and force Malawi to hand over Bushiri even before our processes have? Do you think, in other words, does this thing risk any diplomatic spat in the two countries?
I don't think so, because there are laws to follow.
Yeah.
The laws governing all the processes which are supposed to be undertaken.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think it would reach that stage.
All right. On that note, we'll take another break. When we come back, we'll go to the segment 2 of the program, and we're discussing stalemate in America. Don't go away. Welcome back. This is the Cauldron on Times TV, and my name is George Kasawa. It is a program that tries to get the views of editors in newsrooms on matters that are trending both locally and internationally. We are in the segment 2 of the program. U.S. President Chisomo, especially elect Joe Biden, has warned that people may die in America if his incoming administration continues to be impeded by the incumbent Donald Trump. BBC, for example, quoted Biden as saying coordination was needed to tackle the coronavirus. In fact, Biden went on further to say the fact that Trump is refusing to acknowledge that he lost the election, despite calls to do so from both sides, that's the Republicans and the Democrats, is totally irresponsible. Do we have an irresponsible president on our hands in America?
It is very,
and how dangerous is that?
It is very, very unfortunate that we're experiencing this in our time. We're seeing such irresponsibility from a president of a global power, something that has never happened before. We don't know what it will take, but we know that probably by 14th of December, things will have shaped up. But it's a democracy that is supposed to be an example for everyone, because they have proper transition.
So are they setting examples now?
No, they are not. They have a proper transition system where you will not hear of a president saying, I've come in and I've inherited empty coffers. I've come in, I don't know where this country is going. That's not how it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be a proper transition process in that country. And the current president is jeopardizing everything. Even while he's disputing this, he could have given room to the incoming president to start the transition. Yes. Let him access the resources that he deserves.
Your quick reaction? Irresponsible president in America?
Yeah, I think the way Trump has conducted himself, I think is a danger to democracy. And I think, but I'm sure the American system is going to manage
to deal with him.
To deal with him, to manage that, because they have a crisis at hand, like the coronavirus, and
there's a vaccine now that they want everybody to get a jab.
But I think his reluctance to accept defeat and to let the processes start flowing, the transitional process, I think he is putting more lives at risk in America.
He's going the legal way, which is normal, launching a flurry of legal challenges in various states to contest the ballot counts, but everybody says there's no evidence. Do we have someone in our hands who is probably difficult, just a difficult person? The one doesn't want to listen to anybody.
Yeah, I think he is in denial. He's someone who I see in him. I see someone who is in denial to accept that he has lost it, and people have seen the votes. They had the monitors, the observers, and the like, and he's just someone who is in denial. So he's really not yet ready to accept that he's not the people's choice candidate.
Yes, Chiso.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. The word that I wanted to use, it's a bit undiplomatic.
Yes.
This is a president. I mean, I'm just a small person, but it's actually really like a crybaby.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Well, that's if the president does not respect himself,
it's really
then
acting
probably we have
like
right
a spoiled brat.
Yes.
Yes, it's unfortunate that a whole president can be acting in that manner.
And of America, a president of America.
President of
all
such
countries.
a superpower. I
Yes.
think most Americans are feeling embarrassed as we're talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
The agency that has to facilitate the transition, they call it General Services Administration, GSSA, is headed by a Trump appointee, and until now, it is yet to recognize Biden as a winner, as well as Kamala Harris as his running mate, future vice president. So, no government briefings, no government funding. There's a precedent in which there was a dispute, 2000 between Al Gore and George Bush.
Yeah.
But I think Trump has taken it too far. You think so, Isom?
Yes, I think he has taken it too far. They should have let the other wheels get rolling.
Yes.
So that the transition that we talked earlier, they let him in on the strategies. Because as we're talking now, he has also ordered that the troops should be pulled out of Afghanistan.
Yes.
And that that risks destabilizing things in that particular country. So because like I've said, is a Trump appointee, they're supposed to abide by what their leader is saying, or else they'll be fired, because that's what he has been doing.
And he's firing people, yes.
Left, right.
He just fired the Secretary for Defense.
Yes, left, right, and center. So it is really jeopardizing things, because by now they should have been working together with the transition team of the president. But it hasn't stopped Biden from beginning to make his appointments and beginning to work. It just goes to show that, yes, people can try to throw spanners into the works, but you should still find a way.
They will be ignored.
Yes.
Biden is talking about risking lives. They have a vaccine now. We have a vaccine. They have a vaccine. They want everybody to get a jab so that this coronavirus thing is defeated. And Biden is saying the fact that Trump is insisting that he's not going to give up is risking lives. Is he making a sense?
Yeah, I think he is making sense, because he's frustrating the processes and the wheels of, I think, the system are not turning as smoothly as they were supposed to.
Yeah. On that note, that's why we end the second segment of the program, in which we are looking at the politics of in America, stalemate as it were. We'll take the final break. When we come back, we'll go to the newsroom, and this time we'll go back to the Bushiri issue, but it's this time specifically talking about how the media, both in South Africa and Malawi, have tackled the issue. Are they fair? Have they taken sides? Don't go away. Welcome back. We are now in the newsroom. That's the final stretch of the program. It is where we discuss matters that are affecting the media in general. We'll go back, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go back to the Bushiri issue. And now we'll put ourselves on the spotlight. How have the media, both in South Africa and Malawi, before we start splitting hairs, how have the media covered the Bushiri saga? Aubrey, I'll start with you. Your assessment so far?
Okay, I would say that the media in Malawi, I think it started in South Africa.
Yeah.
That the reports that Bushiri had escaped. We saw it online media, picked it up. Then their Sunday papers, I think last Sunday, they had it, just as we had it in the Malawian newspapers,
yes, on Sunday, that's right.
The televisions
that's
and
right.
Radios and online outlets.
That's right.
On Saturday, when it emerged, when the pictures, one of the pictures of Bushiri and some people was seen on the social media, is when this And now people started talking about the coincidence with the president's trip and the like. So I can say that they are mixed. It was a mixed. Mine is a mixed assessment that on the part of the South African media, I think they went full throttle blaming the Malawi government, and then they also already convicted, so to speak, the suspect in Bushiri that as a criminal and the like. But whereas on the Malawi side, I think the media tried to portray the side, the position that okay, Bushiri, to get the Bushiri position, to get this, I think the Malawi government as well as also balanced it up with South African government perspective on the issue.
Chisomo, Obre essentially saying the South African media has taken sides. They're in fact already calling him a criminal. I saw one TV station, a presenter saying the criminal fugitive. Yes. Is that how we're supposed to do it? Is that how media is supposed to cover someone?
No, unfortunately, no, that's not supposed to be the way. But I wanted to comment that
yes, please go ahead.
Bushiri has hogged the media headlines. We have a lot of issues that we need to cover and address as media, both in South Africa and here. But Bushiri has been hogging the headlines from Sunday and all the way every day, even of this week.
You think that's bad? That's a bad thing?
Well, it's not something that we expect. We expect to be handling issues of much national importance, but he's the one making
AIB, for example.
Yes.
You see? We be talking about fertilizer, how farmers are failing to get it.
Yes, all those issues that affect the nation of national importance. But Bushiri has overtaken everything, and he's the one hogging the limelight as we are speaking.
He doesn't deserve it.
I think because the news is about also currency, what is happening there.
Exactly.
So that's why he's there. But ideally, he should, because even the papers, it's mostly online media that talks about Bushiri a lot. The newspapers, Nation, Times, rarely, does he ever really make headlines.
Because he doesn't live on taxpayers' money. He lives on his own.
You see?
We don't. That's why probably it's in South Africa that probably they are obsessed with it. But proceed.
Yes, but then moving on, as journalists, I think our duty is to present a truthful account, a balanced, a fair account. I think that's what our role should be. So taking sides and becoming judges, which we already, of course, obviously we are not judges. Taking sides and becoming judges is wrong, is a bit is unprofessional.
Does this, in a way, probably justify his assertion, which is assertion that probably in South Africa can get a fair trial? Because it looks like the public and the media have already convicted him that he's a criminal, he's a fraud, he was laundering money.
Yeah, looking at the public reaction from South Africa through the social media platforms like mostly Twitter, and even how the South African media has handled it.
Some of them even here. Yes. Here. Some of them are here.
Yeah, oh yes. you can actually see that. I think some of the fears
are justified. One of the stars, Somo, in this thing, if you can call him a star, is Minister of Information, Gospel Kazako. He stood up. He stood up to this barrage of media interest in Bushiri. Somehow, and I think I said this earlier on. Somehow there was a blame that he probably Malawi should have behaved differently, and the minister said it's your problem. It's not the problem of Malawi. Yes. Was that the right approach?
Yes, I think the minister he was actually trending. There's a clip that has been shared
I saw
across the borders, not just here in Malawi. Across the borders, on Twitter, everywhere. They are sharing that he put them in the right place. It's not the problem of Malawi. look inside
at your own system.
Yes.
Check what is there.
You check, and that's the power of him also having a journalistic background.
Yes.
The vast amount of knowledge that we as journalists have should never be underestimated. Look at what this minister has done, shining on the global stage. A journalist.
You seem excited.
Like us.
You seem excited.
Yeah, very excited.
Do we have the right person in the ministry as the Minister Obre? Do we have the right person?
I think so.
Shusomo thinks he's excited. Are you excited as well?
I think so. It's the right person at the moment.
Yeah. All right. Your final word, Chisomo, on the matter, the issues that we have discussed. Anything burning before we close?
No, not really. I think on the diplomatic relations between Malawi, which we didn't touch much on, and South Africa, I think that they should not really be affected. This is an issue of one man, and the laws, as has been discussed in the program, will take course.
Malawi should be respected.
Yes.
That it has laws, rule of law,
yes,
and that things will move on their own without the interference of anybody, including the president.
Indeed.
Yes.
I see. Aubrey, your final word?
I think I would also add that I think this is a legal issue, and the legal processes should be allowed to take precedent. There should be no effort of mob justice, so to speak, to influence the decision.
Bushir has got his rights.
Yes.
Bushir has got his rights, despite the fact that he has cases to answer in South Africa. But in Malawi, he has got his full rights, and those rights must be respected. On that note, I'm afraid that's why we end this week's edition of the Cauldron. And as usual, you're with me, George Kasagula. Many thanks to Francis Namonde for providing the technical assistance in the Final Control Center. My other thanks always goes to Sarah Chirola for helping me produce the program. Of course, Chisomo too, thank you very much for coming, as well as Aubrey, thank you very much for coming. From everyone here, it's a goodbye.